Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Welcome back to Foxborough as we take you through the early morning hours up until the opening kickoff.
A lot of activity out there. The one constant has been the snow, and it has been here since Friday afternoon when we got here. Well, some of us got here on Friday afternoon.
Most of us.
Most of us.
All of us did. I was here. I just didn't come and see you guys.
We're glad you're here now, Tony. The New England Patriots, if they win their last two games and the Jets and Dolphins each lose at least one, the Patriots would win the AFC East. They would also make the playoffs with 2 wins and a Ravens loss.
Now, you just don't like to be at this point of the season without control over your own destiny. But hey, this Patriot team has done a tremendous job. A lot of starters missed games for them. Their franchise quarterback went out in the first series of the season. They've really responded well. So I think it's a great job by this entire organization to be in this position.
The Patriots have won the toss. They deferred, so they will get the ball first in the second half as Steven Gostkowski gets things started. This is Steve Preston on the return for the Patriots. Their usual return man, J.J. Arrington, is inactive today. Mike Richardson makes the tackle, so Kurt Warner leads the Cardinals offense out onto the field. He's passed for over 4,000 yards and 26 touchdowns.
And when you see him with the gloves on, now don't think that that's just because of the weather here today. We had the Cardinals versus the Giants out in Arizona inside the dome, and he had his gloves on there. So it is going to be interesting to see. I agree with Goose. You know, this is a fun offense to watch, but how do they adjust with these elements this afternoon?
Cardinals without Anquan Bolden today due to a shoulder injury. Tim Hightower, the lone back. First and 10 from the 17-yard line. This is Hightower. Hightower gaining 2. Vince Wilfork made the tackle. The Cardinals ran the ball, Darryl, only 7 times last week. In their loss to Minnesota, they fell behind 28-0.
Yeah, well, one of the things that's happened to them against Minnesota, against Philadelphia, is they've fallen behind quick by 21, by 28. They can't allow that to happen today against the New England Patriots. The last thing you want to do is become one-dimensional, whether it be by the score or whether it be by the fact that you're not executing well, throwing or running the football. They've got to come out and at least threaten this defense of the Patriots with the running game.
3 wide receivers set for the Cardinals. 2nd and 8 from the 19. The inside handoff to Hightower. And Hightower takes it out to the 24-yard line. Again, Wilfork in on the tackle. Tim Hightower, the rookie out of Richmond, the 5th-round draft pick. As we take a look at the key inactives today. Patriots without 2 starters on the defensive side.
With the conditions out here today, guys, the advantage definitely has to go to the defense. It restricts the offenses from putting the ball in the air and throwing the deep ball because it's a little heavy, because it's wet, and the running backs are making big cuts. So where the running back starts, that's where he's going to end up. So it's a little bit of an advantage for defense.
Cardinals keep it on the ground with Hightower, and Mike Vrabel makes the tackle. So the Cardinals go 3 and out on their opening series in the snow. And we'll punt it away.
The big thing, Tony, is the footing. And watch the footsteps. Tiny little choppy footsteps. You don't really get separation. You lose that ability to have a burst. And it's going to take this Arizona team a while to get used to just the footing in this type of situation. New England is going to be used to it because they've played in it a bunch over the years.
Ben Graham punting for his 3rd team this season. Punting from the 10 to Wes Welker. Welker from the 39. Welker across midfield. And he is finally tackled at the Cardinals' 32. A 23-yard return by Welker.
You've got to have all 3 phases working well together. And boy, the special teams for Arizona has let them down at times this year. Again, you can't fall behind quickly. Against these better teams over the last couple of weeks, Arizona has come out and really started the games poorly, found themselves in a hole. You allow Wes Welker to give his offense great field position on their opening drive.
Matt Castle has had great success filling in for Tom Brady this season. First and 10 from the 33-yard line. The handoff to Sammy Morris with Russ Holstein lined up as the fullback. A backup offensive lineman, and Chika O'Keefer makes the tackle after a gain of 4.
Well, there you go, Goose. You want to know what New England wants to do with the football? We'll go through the starter. Heath Evans, he's not your starting fullback. It was Russ Holstein, the backup center. So they're going to come out. They'll probably use some different personnel groups to make sure they can pound that football inside against the Cardinals.
If you want to pound it hard, you put a little bit more beef in the backfield. That's exactly what New England did.
Second and 6 from the 29. This is Morris. And Sammy Morris picks up a first down. Gain of 9 on the play. On-throw roll, and Matt Ware finally brought him down.
All right, we saw Tim Hightower for the Cardinals running the football. Did you see the difference right there with Sammy Morris as he was going through? Just much more confident, much more comfortable with his footwork getting through that hole going against this Cardinal defense.
Kevin Falk split out to the left. Empty backfield, first and 10 from the Arizona 21. Castle complete to Falk. And he's tackled at the 15-yard line after a gain of 6 by Carlos Dansby.
One of the greatest pieces of information I ever got about running routes and being on the field was from Jay Novacek, our great tight end in Dallas. And it's not really so hard how fast you run, it's how fast you stop. One of the big differences today that we could see is how much better New England is getting in and out of their breaks, starting and stopping, than the Arizona Cardinals are because of the slick field.
Darryl Hochstein back in at fullback, and he leads the way for Morris. Cardinals having a awfully tough time trying to bring down Sammy Morris. He's finally tackled at the 4 after a gain of 10.
Sammy Morris does a great job of keeping his feet moving through the hole. The guys are on top of him trying to tackle him, but he carries them. Watch here. He goes through the hole, lowers his shoulder. They try to take him down. He keeps driving his legs, If you keep driving your legs, it doesn't matter how many guys are on you, you're still going to go get that forward momentum that's going to give you an extra 2 or 3 yards.
First and goal from just inside the 5. Randy Moss in motion. This is Morris. And Morris takes it down inside the 3. Patriots have scored on 8 opening drives this season. 4 touchdowns, 4 field goals. Patriots won the toss. They deferred. Cardinals went 3 and out. And then a 23-yard punt return by Wes Welker as the Pats started this drive in Cardinals territory.
Well, just another one of those little things that Bill Belichick does. I mean, a great decision to defer, put that Arizona offense on the field, not used to these conditions, in great field position for your opening offensive series.
Timeout called by the Cardinals.
Arizona. That's it.
When we come back, second and goal from the 2 for New England. Second and goal for the Patriots from the 2-yard line. This is Lamont Jordan. Gabe Watson came up to make the tackle, number 98, the third-year defensive lineman out of Michigan.
Hey, Goose, what was it like? You ever playing a game like this down by the goal line? Because I know that footing is a huge issue down there for you defensive linemen in this situation.
It is huge. You got to try and go get your footing. Down here they have AstroTurf, and depending on what shoes you have, you can really go and dig it in and get your legs in there. But you want to go and look at the ball. You want to come off when that ball is snapped to get the edge, to get that penetration to the backfield.
Jordan walks it in for the touchdown. Patriots using Mike Vrabel as an extra blocker. Lamont Jordan scores his second touchdown of the season.
These fans know what to do in these elements. As some of my favorite footage from the NFL comes from some of the snow games that we've had here at Gillette Stadium and the old Foxborough.
Yeah, it's nice when it's in the stands. It's not too nice when it comes down here on my telestrator and on my head, Boots.
Throw him back, Goose.
My hands are too cold to make a snowball.
Gostowski adds the extra point. Patriots only had to drive 33 yards following the Welker return. Touchdown, Lamont Jordan. Lamont Jordan has given the Patriots the early lead. 5th opening drive touchdown for New England this season. Patriots scored on their first 4 possessions last week out in Oakland. Steve Preston on the return. Preston taken down by Kelly Washington. A 28-yard return. Kurt Warner, Larry Fitzgerald of the Cardinals offense coming up. The snow continues to fall here in Foxborough. The Patriots down in their history 9-0 here at home when it snows at the opening kickoff. They have never lost a snow game here in Foxborough. Hightower game 6.
Well, let's put those two together. So they're 9-0 when it snows here at kickoff. And how many years has it been, Goose, since Arizona's played the snow game?
25 big ones, Moose. 25 big ones. That's a long time not to be around the snow. 25 years.
You want to talk about having an opportunity to get your confidence back to go into the playoffs, not be a one-and-done team? Arizona coming east, playing in these conditions against a playoff caliber team. I mean, you can't have a better chance to get that confidence back.
2nd down and 4. 5th consecutive running play for the Cardinals as Hightower is bottled up a yard shy of the first down marker as we check in for the first time with Kurt Menefee in a warm studio in Los Angeles. Kurt?
Yeah, but it's not warm in Kansas City where Miami is, but they don't care. First play from scrimmage, Ted Ginn Jr., 31 yards on the end around. Dolphins leading at 10-0 right now. It's 13 degrees in KC. Kenny, of course, Miami needing to lose to help New England's playoff chances.
That's right, Kurt. That is not good news for the Patriots, who can only win the division with 2 wins and a loss by both the Jets and the Dolphins. 6th consecutive running play, and Hightower picks up a first down, a penalty marker, as Hightower crosses midfield into Patriots territory as he gains 7. Bill Levy, our referee today.
Illegal use of the hands to the face. Number 45 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
That's the fullback, Terrell Smith. The Cardinals, the 5th most penalized team in the league. Darryl, the Patriots have committed the fewest penalties in the NFL.
That's a tough one. I mean, Terrell Smith's going to be your blocking fullback out in front. Here he comes, number 45, going against Gerard Mayo. I don't really see it. I think it's a heck of a job by Terrell Smith getting a linebacker out of the hole. On a play like that, a 3rd and short with a big run by Hightower, I like to see that one a little bit more definitively.
So
when a guy spins, you just got to go and do what you can do. You know that.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time, Goose. You go to the ground, and you're usually going to get a flag thrown on you.
Instead of a first down, 3rd and 11 from the 33. Warner to the air for the first time. And the pass intended for the rookie out of LSU, early Doucette, and Warner took a hit from Vince Wilfork.
All right, that's a tough break right there for the Arizona Cardinal offense because they should have had the first down, in my opinion, and now you're backed up 3rd and 11, and early Doucette, one of 2 players for the Arizona Cardinals. We think the first time they ever saw snow was when they landed in Providence last Friday.
That's right, Doucette, the Louisiana native. It did snow in New Orleans this week for the first time in 4 years, but Doucette has never seen snow. This is Wes Welker. Big return earlier, and Welker takes it out to the 44-yard line. A 13-yard return, 36-yard punt. Patriots offense back out. They lead by 7.
Right here, you got Michael Adams as gunner. He gets pushed out of bounds. One of the coaches from New England goes and gets in his way a little bit. Gets knocked over. We're trying to identify the coach right now. That was a nice block by the coach, and we'll get back to you on who he was.
All right, Goose. Sammy Morris, modeled up by Darnell Dockett. We spoke with Darnell yesterday, and he said we better learn how to play in the elements, win on the East Coast, because assuming we win our wild card game at home, we may have to go right back to the East Coast in the divisional round.
Without a doubt, the NFC is coming east. So I like Darnell Dockett's approach. I like what he said about the Philly game. Yeah, it was a short week. We were going all the way back to the East Coast on Thanksgiving night. We knew that schedule. We can't make any excuses.
Second down and 11 as Castle hits Morris. And Sammy Morris has a first down and more. Morris still on his feet, and he is finally forced out of bounds by Roderick Hood after a 44-yard pickup.
Well, we just talked about Dockett in the elements. There he is, number 90 right here. Slips on the snap. Now I see the screen. I'm going to get out there in pursuit. But understand your conditions. You've got to be down. You got to set your hips down. You can't come in straight-legged and think you're going to be able to change direction. Again, there was a couple of nice blocks by the Patriot offensive linemen because they're taking advantage of the fact that Arizona, they're flying around like the conditions aren't an issue with their footing.
And Moose, you know you got to keep your feet underneath you. Doesn't matter what kind of cleats you're wearing. Everybody out there, from what I could see, is pretty much wearing the same thing. A molded bottom or a screw-in bottom, something that you would wear on grass. That should give them enough traction out there, but you can't have your feet outside your shoulders. If you have them outside your shoulders, that's when you're going to go and slip, like you saw Dockett slip right there.
And then Dockett on the next play, that's the pass from Castle back the other way, so the Patriots now facing a 2nd and 10 from the Cards 14. Lamont Jordan, the lone back. 4 receivers. This is Jordan, who has the Patriots touchdown. And Lamont gains 8 down to the 6-yard line before he was tackled by G.K. O'Keefer.
They're getting after him inside, Goose. And this offensive line for New England putting together one of the best rushing seasons that the franchise has ever had. And they're getting it done again this afternoon.
Nice thing about the New England running backs is they're covering the ball with 2 hands also, Moose. They're protecting that ball. That's very, very important in conditions like this.
3rd down and 2 from the Arizona 6. Jordan wrestled down, but looks like he has enough for the first. So the Patriots get a new set of downs as we approach 4 minutes remaining. First quarter in the snow here in Foxborough. 3 receivers all split to the right. Now Moss in motion to the left. Castle dropping into the shotgun. First and goal from the 4. Castle can't find anyone. Rolls to his right. He was dragged down from behind as he throws it away. Matt Ware with the pressure brought down Matt Castle.
Well, one of the things that you have to take into account is Matt Castle's ability to scramble. Once he gets outside, I thought Matt was going to pull it down and try and beat him to the pylon. He is very good when the play breaks down with getting some good positive yards with his feet.
He's 4th among all quarterbacks this season in rushing yards.
It's a different element. You didn't have that with Tom Brady, but you have to account for that with Matt Castle.
Holstein, the fullback, from the 3. Jordan.
Nice feet.
His 2nd touchdown of the quarter.
There it is again, Moose. Beef in the backfield. Arizona has to go and match that when you get Hochstein in the backfield.
Well, you know the next time they do that, they're going to throw the ball to Hochstein in the flat. They're going to do a little play-action pass, and he's going to be out in the flat all by himself. Watch the feet, though. Under control. Little chop. That's a nice job by Lamont Jordan.
Gostowski adds the point after. Patriots have scored on their first 2 drives. Lamont Jordan with a pair of New England Patriot touchdowns. 14-0 over the Cardinals. New England Patriots, 2 7-play drives, 2 Lamont Jordan touchdowns.
We talked to Bill Belichick about what they did last week, and everybody would love to get off to a quick start the way they did against the Raiders last week. Obviously, would love to do that again and increase that doubt in this Arizona team about coming east, about playing in these conditions.
Preston upended at the 25-yard line by Ray Ventrone. 20-yard return. So Kurt Warner leads the Cardinals offense back out. First time Warner is facing the Patriots since the Rams lost to New England in Super Bowl 37.
Well, not a much better start to this one.
Warner and the Cardinals start from their own 26. Hightower. Junior Seau made the tackle. Well, we've talked about it. The Arizona Cardinals 0-4 when coming to the Eastern Time Zone.
They have really struggled, as well as everybody else in the NFL. 1-16 coming west to east this year, and the Cardinals, one of those teams that has really had problems. And when you talk about the Philly game and also the Jet game, they were not real competitive in those two games. Let a couple get away in Washington and in Carolina, in my opinion, but were handled well in the other two.
Second down and 9. It's Hightower again, and this time it is Jarvis Green who makes the tackle. No gain.
Jarvis Green, I mean, just unblocked. You should make that play when you're unblocked.
Cardinals have gone 3 and out on their first 2 possessions. 3rd and 9 from their own 27. Warner only 1 pass in the game so far. 7 running plays for Arizona. Warner wrapped up. Down he goes. Back at the 20-yard line. Mike Wright with his 3rd sack of the season, a loss of 7 as we check in with Kurt.
Got to keep your eye on the fullback, B.J. Askew. He gets the handoff and breaks the plane of the goal barely. It's a touchdown. Tampa Bay tied with San Diego 7 apiece. Tampa Bay wins. Atlanta loses. The Buccaneers are in the playoffs. Kenny?
Thanks, Kurt. Graham punting from his own 10. Patriots again will have good field position. The fair catch at the 43-yard line by Welker. Well, once a year there's one event we can all look forward to. One event that brings America together like no other. One event that gives us a reason to cheer. TV's biggest phenomenon is back. American Idol. The new season begins this January on Fox. Darryl, Mike Wright with that sack of Warner on the last play. Went to the same high school as Roger Staubach. The guy who was involved in the closing ceremonies at Texas Stadium last night. You saw Roger earlier this week, and he had a big influence on Bill Belichick as Castle is going deep off the fingertips of Randy Moss.
Wow, what a throw by Matt Castle. You get pounding the ball, and then you do a little bit of play action, and you get Randy Moss down the field and Trell Roll in good position. I know Randy Moss would love to have that one back. I've seen him make so many circus-type catches throughout his career.
It's not easy catching a ball when it's soaking wet either, Moose. That ball's got to be a couple more pounds than normal.
Or all those snowflakes hitting you in the eye when you're looking back.
Yeah, that's a problem, too.
Inside handoff to Morris. Morris pushing the pile. He gains 8.
But the difference right now, Tony, is New England has the confidence to line up, run play action, take a shot down the field, because on 2nd and 10, they can come back and put themselves into a good 3rd down situation. I don't think Arizona has that confidence right now. .49 yards on the ground for New England.
3rd and 2 from the 48. Jordan, and he's tackled behind the line by Brian Robinson.
Brian Robinson down here in the middle, playing down the line of scrimmage. Didn't get down to get him covered up. Russ Hochstein didn't get down, get on his backside hip in that zone blocking scheme. He was able to follow the ball, get up the field, make the stop.
Chris Hansen will punt for the first time. Steve Preston back deep with a half-minute remaining in this first quarter.
Hochstein's doing a pretty good job, Moose, at fullback.
Brought down inside the 10. So the Cardinals will start at their own 9-yard line. The NFL on Fox continues as two NFC East rivals collide. This was the first meeting between the Redskins and the Eagles. Week 5, the Eagles come down to a 14-0 lead, but the Redskins would come back and defeat Philadelphia 23-17.
Yeah, but the difference in those games early on for the Redskins is Clinton Portis was a machine. He was having some big days running the football. They haven't been able to get that running game on track for the Washington Redskins. And look at the Philadelphia Eagles. We had them counted out a couple weeks ago with that loss to Baltimore and the benching of Donovan McNabb. But right now, if they get into the playoffs, that's not a team I'd like to face as a high seed.
Play blown dead. Eagles have won their last 3 games while the Redskins have lost their last 3.
Timeout, New England. That's their first charge. Timeout. 30-second timeout.
Four seconds put back on the clock, so 12 seconds remaining in the quarter. Cardinals have gone 3 and out on their first 3 possessions. They have not yet picked up a first down. Ken Wisenhunt's club clinching the NFC West 2 weeks ago. They have gone 5-0 in division games this season.
Well, outside the division, they haven't done that well. The NFC West is struggling a little bit this year, and Arizona has used that to their advantage. You see right there when they get outside of the NFC West. But Ken Wisenhunt, he felt his team was going to be able to execute the run game. If it became a type of game with these conditions and these elements where he had to run, and he can't be happy at all with his performance in the running game right now by his offense.
First and 10 from the 9 as Warner hits Hightower. He loses the football. Seo had a chance, but it looks like it's recovered by the former Patriot Steven Spock, who played 2 games with the Patriots earlier this season.
Great hustle by Steven Spock, because this is going to be a huge game-changing play. Junior Seau's got the opportunity to get it. He doesn't make it. Good hustle back by Steven Spock to give his offense a chance for another set of downs.
So the Cardinals hang on to the football, but they trail the Patriots 14-0 after 1 quarter. Fox NFL Sunday will return after these messages. Let's find out what's right. We start the second quarter here in snowy Foxborough. 0 yards for the Cardinals for the first quarter. Edgerrin James in the backfield for the first time. Warner on 3rd down. He was pressured by Jarvis Green and got rid of the football. Ruled an incomplete pass.
I like the play call, though, Goose. Yeah, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You just saw the graphic. They don't have any yards in the first quarter. We're going to come out. The conditions are like this. We've got snow. We got to run the ball. Guess what? You haven't run it all season. You can't just jump into the running mode right now. Do what you do.
They need to come out. They tried to run the ball. Obviously, they got 0 yards. But right now, the tough thing about it is they're trying to go in the air with Kurt Warner. But up front, this Patriots defensive line is getting a lot of pressure on him. Right now, he's in the end zone. Luckily, he got the ball out last time. But they need to get a couple yards on the ground like they're doing right here to get away from that end zone and the possibility of getting a safety.
Well, the Cardinals will punt as Edgerrin James carries the ball for only the 8th time in the last 8 games. And he gains 5, but The Cardinals needed 15, so Graham will punt for the 4th time today.
Yeah, the other option is, okay, maybe you don't want to throw the ball because we're not sure about protection. Let Edgerrin James go in and try for a while. Tim Hightower had 3 series, did get a lot of production. Let's put Edgerrin James back in and see if he can get something done.
The 4th 3 and out for the Cardinals. They have not picked up a first down today. Welker from the 48. Welker takes it back to midfield. 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. First game for the Cardinals franchise in the snow in 25 years. Tony spent all day Friday researching, going through all of the games that the Cardinals have played, and came up with that. Told us about it in the open as Lamont Jordan is bottled up, no game. They were the St. Louis Cardinals, of course, back then when they played in the snow in 1983. Cardinals have won their division for the first time since 1975, but trailed the Patriots today 14-0.
Well, the Patriots defensive line is doing a better job identifying Hochstein in the backfield and knowing that he's not back there to pass the ball. He's back there to run it. When you have that beef back there, you're going to get the run. So nice job by them identifying that by now.
Empty backfield, Falk split to the left. 2nd and 10 from the 50 as Castle finds his man, Jabbar Gaffney. And Gaffney is finally taken down inside the 15-yard line. Gaffney with his 34th reception of the season, a Patriots first down.
Coming off the inside, there he goes, number 10, right at the top of Antrell Roll. He's looking upfield, gets in behind him. But you saw what Tony talked about with Arizona's passing game. Arizona's giving up pressure with Kurt Warner. The Patriots are going about it in a different way. They're keeping a couple of guys back in on protection, giving Matt Castle time to look down the field and find the receivers.
37-yard pass play. Jordan. Nothing.
You know, Moose, when you have conditions like this as a defense, there's nothing wrong with blitzing whenever you want, because the more guys you get in there, it's going to help you on the pass, and it's also going to help you on the run, because nothing in the backfield is going to develop real fast. It's going to be a slow getting to the line of scrimmage, and it's going to help you both in the pass and the run.
Second and 10, 3 receivers. Welker shifting. Castle, look right, throws left. Falk, touchdown.
Arizona needs to adjust quickly, Goose. Right now, this just doesn't look fair. There you go. You finally get pressure. You got to know it's false pressure. The reason you got to the quarterback so quickly is because they're baiting you up the field. Gabe Watson never realizes that that's a screen. Can't retrace, and out in space. Again, the Cardinals just having a tough time with the footing today.
So despite no receptions by either Welker or Moss, the Patriots now lead 21-0. They've had terrific field position. Big pass play to Gaffney. Falk with his 6th touchdown of the season.
1, 2, 3.
3 minutes in, second quarter. Patriots lead 21-0. A look at some of the deficits the Arizona Cardinals have faced this season, including last week. They trailed the Vikings 28-0, and 3 weeks ago in Philadelphia fell behind 21-0.
Now they were able to get back into that Jet game, but you saw the date. That was September 28th. The Eagle game and the Viking game, 2 out of the last 3 games this Cardinal team has played.
Preston tackled by Matthew Slater, the son of the Hall of Famer Jackie Slater.
These teams are moving at different speeds right now, Goose.
Moose, take a look at this. Watch Antrell Roll right here. He has an opportunity to go and make a tackle on the 10-yard line. He lowers his head. He doesn't wrap up. He just tries to throw his shoulder. That's not the way to go and make a tackle.
And here's the other side of that coin. Watch Wes Welker, number 83. Pro Bowler, going to his first Pro Bowl. Great effort, Wes.
Now you know why you have Pro Bowlers and non-Pro Bowlers. It's all in the effort, right, Moose?
I agree, Goose.
Kurt Warner going to the Pro Bowl as well. Here's Warner on first down. Larry Fitzgerald out of bounds.
You know, Moose, you talked earlier in the last period we were here. You talked about, you know, the conditions and the footing. You know, it's not really the cleats, I think, that the Arizona Cardinals have. I think it's more with knowing how to play in certain conditions. The New England Patriots have played in conditions like this, and Arizona does not know how to play in these.
Well, on offense, what you want to do is everything under control. You want to force the defense to change direction. You know where you're going. You want to run arrow routes, which is going towards the flat and then coming back to the middle. Short. Things where you can change direction. Right there. Something simple. You know, get some confidence back with your offense.
Jeremy Urban, the reception. And he gains 8. 3rd down and 2 coming up.
When you pick those kind of routes as an offensive player, as a skill player on the offensive side of the ball, you know where you're going. You know what you have to do. So you can be under control. Jeremy Urban, 85 out of the slot. That's tough for a defensive player to come out of his back pedal and to break up on the ball. So I would like to see Arizona get into some more of a short controlled passing game with a little bit of change of direction to try and force these Patriot defenders to move their feet.
Cardinals looking for their first down of the game. And they do pick up the first as the pass is caught by Early Doucette. Tackled by Mike Vrabel. Gain of 4. And Darryl, you mentioned earlier, Early Doucette had never seen snow, nor had his teammate Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie until the Cardinals landed on Friday night in Providence.
That's amazing. I mean, I haven't seen it in a long time, but I've been having a ball this weekend in this weather.
If it doesn't stop snowing, we might be having a ball later on today and tomorrow too, Moose. I don't know. We'll get out of here.
Come on, positive vibes, Goose. Positive vibes.
We had a chance to work the Packers-Seahawks playoff game in the snow last January. Off the fake to Edgerrin James. Warner to Doucette. And Early Doucette takes it out to the 38-yard line. Gain of 6 before he was tackled by Brandon Merriweather. Kurt Warner's played in the snow before. Played collegiately at Northern Iowa, and he told us yesterday he played many games in the cold and the snow against colleges in Illinois. Also played in a playoff game at Boston University on a very cold day here in New England.
I don't care what anybody says. I'd much rather play in this snow than in a cold rain.
Me too.
Second down and 5. Warner to Fitzgerald. And Larry Fitzgerald picks up another Cardinals first down as we check in with Kurt Menefee in Los Angeles. Kurt?
The wind chill in Kansas City is down to 13 below 0, but it's not bothering the Chiefs. The Patriots fans happy to see this. Tony Gonzalez fighting in for an 8-yard score, and Kansas City leads Miami 14-10. Certainly good news for Patriots fans. Kenny, Moose, and Goose?
Great news for the Patriots. Patriots lead the Cardinals 21-0.
I'll yell out the window at the next break.
Hand off to James, and Edgerrin James picks up a first down. We mentioned James has played sparingly over the last 7 weeks. Did not play in 3 games, only 7 carries, 15 yards, but seeing action today after they used Hightower early, and J.J. Arrington is inactive for today's game.
Well, I just like the play calling here. Great job by Kurt Warner right off the start. Tough snap, handles it, gets it to Edgerrin James. But we talked about Tim Hightower having an opportunity on the first couple of series. Nothing going. Let's give Edgerrin James an opportunity. I like the play calling in the passing game much better in this drive than the other ones that they've had.
James has had some huge games against the Patriots, 600-yard games against New England, but this time he's tackled at the line of scrimmage by Wilfork and Vrabel.
You know, we talk about Arizona, and we know they're going into the playoffs, Moose, but you and me both know you need momentum going into the playoffs, so you're just going to, have a hard time in the first game. And that's something that Arizona needs to do right here. They're down by 21 points, but right now they've got a little bit, momentum going. They got to put some points up on the board and start getting some confidence to carry them into the postseason.
They're a high-scoring team, Goose. Second highest scoring team in the league. Warner's pass is caught by James, bounces away from Seau, and is finally tackled at the 32. The Cardinals average 27.5 points per game. Only the Saints have scored more points this season.
A good field by Kurt Warner in the pocket on that play. Mike Vrabel is about to come free. Kurt Warner feels him. He's able to drop it down to Edgerrin James, and he's playing with a little bit of purpose the last couple of snaps, Goose. Edgerrin James is.
When he has something to prove out there. He's playing really good. He's played in bad weather. His feet are underneath him. He's the guy who needs to go and show this Arizona offense how to go and run the ball in these kind of conditions.
He asked for his release earlier this season. Cardinals said no. This is Hightower on 3rd and 3. Hightower turns the corner. He dives. Lost the football as he dove out of bounds. It will depend on the spot.
I think that's what the problem is. He lost the football right as he was stretching. He's the one that's coming in motion. Little handoff on the outside. He's going to try and beat Junior Seau to the corner. And right there as he's switching hands to try and extend it, I think the ball comes out of his hand. It goes beyond the marker, but he's not going to get that forward progress. It's going to go where he went out of bounds. So they're short.
Cardinals will go for it. But first, a timeout.
Timeout, New England.
Timeout
That's
called
their
by the
second
Patriots.
charge.
When
Timeout.
we come back, 4th and inches from the New England 31. Fourth and 1 coming up for the Cardinals, who gained only 5 yards on their first 4 drives. So far in this drive, Darryl, 50 yards for Arizona.
I like the play calling. Edgerrin James is coming, giving this offense a little bit of spark on this drive.
Fourth and 1 from the Patriots 31. Fitzgerald in motion. Warner looking to throw. Patriots will take over on downs. Right with the pressure on Warner.
I like the play calling up until that play. I didn't like that play call.
Yeah, that was not good. You got to go and put the ball on the ground, give it to Edgerrin James. We talked about how good he's been running. Right now you got Larry Fitzgerald out there, trying to clear away, but Moose, I'm with you. I didn't like that call at all.
Edgerrin had played with a little bit of a spark right there. He'd run the ball hard. Like you pointed out, Goose, he's played in these conditions more recently than anybody else on this offense probably has. So lean on him a little bit right now.
Patriots take over on downs at their own 31, leading 21-0. New England has scored touchdowns on 3 of their first 4 possessions. 3 wide receivers, Castle to the outside, and that's the second catch today by Jabbar Gaffney. Gain of 4. Big punt return by Wes Welker led to the first New England touchdown. Screen pass to Morris, and a 37-yard completion to Jabbar Gaffney. Hochstein leading the way for Jordan, and Lamont Jordan has a first down out to the 47-yard line as Jordan, who has 2 touchdowns today, gains 11.
Well, there's your guy in there again, Goose. It's Russ Hochstein at the fullback position again. Watch 71. Now he's going to go against the linebacker, scraping right there. Gerald Hayes gets caught in the wash, number 54. Now you have to understand, you've got the backup center playing the fullback spot. He's going to come in, he's going to deliver a blow. He's not going to have that nice feel that a normal fullback has. He's going to be very physical. You've got to squeeze as the backside guy coming across. Gerald Hayes couldn't do that on that run.
Empty backfield from the 47. Castle with loads of time, but could not find anyone downfield. He spun around and taken down by Bertrand Berry, who leads the Cardinals in sacks. It's Berry's 6th of the season.
Well, Matt Castle has nowhere to go with the ball. Wes Welker on a little stutter and go. Good job by Roderick Hood not getting fooled. He tries to adjust at the end, and here comes your bunch formation on that side. All 3 players coming out of that bunch covered well.
There was a late flag against Arizona, negating the sack. A first down for New England.
I'm with you, Coach Wizenhunt. I want to know what happened.
Castle going deep for Randy Moss.
Oh, boy, that was even an easier one than the first one for Randy. That's very uncharacteristic.
Matt Castle just throws that ball a little bit short. Randy Moss had to stop for the ball and come back.
Watch how good he is here, Goose. Watch this little hesitation to get some separation. A little of that, little bump. That is nice. Very subtle. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie may have gotten his hand and deflected a little bit right at the last second. But again, these conditions, you're looking back, you got a million snowflakes in your eyes. But boy, that was nice by Randy Moss at the top of that route, getting that little bit of separation.
Penalty on the previous play, illegal contact. Off the play fake on second down. Castle over the middle, off the hands of the tight end, Benjamin Watson, as we check in once again with Kurt.
And we check in again on Tennessee and Pittsburgh. Titans up 10-0 until Roethlisberger hooks up with a diving Santonio Holmes. Great catch there that makes it a 3-point game in the battle for top spot in the AFC. Denny Moose and Goose.
Thanks, Kurt. Holmes was definitely in the end zone, right across the plane.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt about it.
No doubt about that one.
Tennessee Titans have lost 2 of their last 4 games after starting the season 10-0. 3rd and 10. Patriots have to get to the 38 for a first down. And they do. Jabbar Gaffney with his 3rd catch today. And he is finally brought down by Matt Ware after a 19-yard pickup.
Well, when they have had a positive play defensively, they've gotten pressure on Matt Castle. They choose to rush 3 guys, drop everybody in coverage. They don't get there with the pressure, and Matt Castle is able to find Jabbar Gaffney in that soft spot in the zone. Good catch, great concentration. I mean, Jabbar Gaffney has been a key in this offense so far. Big plays down the field. There's your guy fullback again, Goose.
Oh, big boy.
Oakstein leading the way for Jordan, the penalty flag. Well, for Gaffney, Darrell, 3 receptions today, 3 big catches. Nothing yet for Moss or Welker, although they've gone deep to Moss twice.
70 offense. 10-yard repeat first down.
That's on the left guard, Logan Mankins.
Everybody pushing around the pile. Here comes the flag. Boy, Logan Mankins, he gets it 2 ways. Now you don't even have to ask who that one was on. Which one was it on? The guy with the flag on his collar.
Lamar Jordan does a great job
back.
of covering it up, too. They're trying to strip that ball out.
First New England penalty today. Castle, the screen for Welker. Oh, wow. He takes a hard hit from Carlos Dansby. That is the 103rd catch of the season for Wes Welker, who was headed to his first Pro Bowl.
But we saw Arizona do the similar play on their drive when they finally got some good momentum going offensively. Just a quick pass, get it out to Wes Welker. He's moving well in these conditions.
Matt Castle, 6 of 11. Lamont Jordan, a pair of rushing touchdowns. 3 receptions for Jabbar Gaffney. 2nd down and 17. Castle dumps it off to Welker. Welker is brought down by the combination of O'Keefer and Dansby after a gain of 4. Wes Welker, a guy who was rejected by 105 colleges, finally landed at Texas Tech, not drafted, played 1 game for the Chargers, 3 years in Miami, tied for the NFL lead last year with 112 receptions, now has 104 this season.
The NFL measures a lot of things. Vertical jump, 40 times, bench press reps.
I know exactly what you're going to say, Moose.
Can't measure that hard, can you, Goose?
No, EKGs. They should give you an EKG at the combine.
Sammy Morris.
Ooh, Stephen Neal got rolled up. Hopefully we see Stephen pop up.
There he is, Wes Welker. I'll tell you. You know what? You always see those guys undrafted or drafted real late out of the draft and have something to prove. And that's one guy, Wes Welker, who had something to prove last year and was granted with a Pro Bowl this year. Congratulations to him.
They're so different, too, in what they bring, Randy Moss and Wes Welker. I mean, Randy is such a huge deep threat that you have to worry about. You like to get safety help over the top against Randy Moss. And then You have to worry about the other side of the field with Wes Welker. I mean, you can't leave him singled up the way he is able to get in and out of his breaks when he runs his routes.
Holding penalty decline. Patriots 4th and 10. Castle takes off, and Matt Castle has a first down.
No hook slide for Matt Castle.
Gain of 16 yards on the play. Terrific athlete. He was drafted by the Oakland A's. His brother is a major league pitcher, and he shows his athleticism on this play.
Just knowing the situation, it's 4th down. I can't slide. You know, I don't even want to give the official the opportunity to maybe mark me short of the first down. Just goes in and just powers for the first down.
Lamont Jordan.
Watching Arizona, the thing I don't like about what they're doing right now, Moose, in that last play that we saw Matt Castle run for the first down, only rushing 3 guys. You know, you have the opportunity. You have 5 offensive linemen going up against 3 defensive linemen. 2 things. You're going to have all day back there in the backfield to throw the ball downfield. And if the offensive linemen clear them out, you're going to have lanes to go and run the ball. And Matt Castle right there goes and gets a first down. One thing I don't agree with what Arizona's doing right now.
Well, how about the big thing, Goose? If you drop in 8 into coverage, the last thing you would expect to have happen is a quarterback scramble for a first down on 4th and 10.
We have hit the 2-minute warning here in Foxborough on a snowy Sunday afternoon. Patriots on the move, looking to extend their lead. Second down and 7 from the 11-yard line. Patriots lead the Cardinals 21-0. Castle looking for Moss.
Trying to throw that short screen again, Moose. That's very dangerous out there, especially when the ball's in Moss's hands.
Twelfth play of the drive coming up. Falk in the backfield. 3 receivers to the left. 3rd down and 7. Castle, Welker, touchdown. Wes Welker pulling a Lonnie Paxton.
You know what? I know you can't go to the ground, but come on now, it's snowing. You gotta have a snow angel. There's got to be an exception to that rule where you can't go to the ground unless we've got a nice accumulation of snow in the end zone, and you want to do a snow angel. We'll let that one go.
Lonnie Paxton, the Patriots' long snapper, of course, has made his share of snow angels during playoff games.
Touchdown, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 83 of the offense. Demonstration, 15-yard penalty on the kickoff.
He's just getting in the holiday spirit, Bill.
He tripped. He didn't go down there on purpose, did he?
There it is again, Goose. The short route that forces the defender to change the direction quickly. He did trip. He stubbed his toe. He went down, and then he was in agony.
The same officiating crew involved in 2 situations last week. Santana Moss pulled out a towel and cleaned his shoe, and then Clinton Portis was flipped a football by Chad Johnson. A flag here today on the Snow Angel celebration by Welker. 28-0 Pat.
Hi, this is Chuck Uhas from the 332nd Expeditionary Wing in Iraq. I'd like to wish my brother Bob, Jan, my nieces and nephews in Detroit, Michigan, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. You take care, and we'll see you soon.
And a Merry Christmas from us to all the servicemen who are overseas at this holiday time for all you do for us back here, over there. We appreciate that, and especially during the holiday season for you to give up your time with your family for us.
Absolutely. You guys are the real heroes.
And you saw members of the Patriots earlier today greeting some of the members of the military who are here at the stadium today. Preston on the return out to the 40.
Well, one of the things we got to keep an eye on now is Ken Wisenhunt said if this gets out of hand one way or the other, you know, he might pull some of his guys back to keep people healthy for the playoff run. Anquan Bolden and J.J. Arrington, they were scratches because of injuries. But with a Kurt Warner, a Larry Fitzgerald, some of these key components to this offense, you wonder how much longer they're going to be in here if this one is not competitive.
First and 10 for Warner on the Cardinals from their own 39. Warner looking for Hightower out of the backfield. Gerard Mayo on the coverage. We mentioned earlier Kurt Warner on the losing end of Super Bowl 37. He actually wrote a letter to Bill Belichick after that game congratulating him on the championship, and sent another letter to Belichick following last year's undefeated Patriots regular season.
And Coach Belichick didn't realize that he had penned a letter back to Kurt after the Super Bowl, and it never got to him. And we told Kurt yesterday, and he was surprised to hear that. He never did receive it.
Warner, Fitzgerald did not make the catch. Ellis Hobbs on the coverage. But Warner said he appreciates greatness, especially when underdogs achieve greatness, and we all know Kurt Warner's story, and the Patriots were underdogs in that Super Bowl against the St. Louis Rams.
And not many people gave Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots much of a chance against what was then the greatest show on turf when it was really in its prime. But a great plan, great execution by his players.
Third down and 10, Warner under pressure. Mike Wright again coming up the middle, applying the pressure and making the hit. Cardinals will punt.
Yeah, well, we've had a couple of situations now where we're getting guys coming clean for the Patriots, and I don't know if they get another opportunity here in the first half offensively with the ball, but I'd be shocked if Ken Whisenhunt doesn't take a look at this play right here with a free defender right at his franchise quarterback right now, Pro Bowl quarterback, who's going to be a vital cog in the playoffs, and you can't have Mike Wright coming in here and roughing him up.
At some point you're going to have to make a decision, and Kurt's taking a pretty big pounding there in that first half with those New England defensive linemen, like you pointed out, Moose. They're coming scot-free. That last play was a screen out to the left-hand side, and they just let the defenders come right through the line of scrimmage a little faster than I think he anticipated.
Richard Seymour, the injured New England Patriot. You had to look at Kurt Warner's numbers. He will be the first Cardinal quarterback in the Pro Bowl since Neil Lomax back in 1987. Kurt heading to his fourth Pro Bowl. 7-year gap from his last Pro Bowl to this one. The only players in league history who have gone longer between Pro Bowls, Randall Cunningham and Phil Simms, both went 8 seasons between trips to Hawaii.
He's had a great season, and he's going to be, extremely important for the Cardinals to be able to regain any confidence and go into that playoff game thinking they can do anything more than one and done. And, there's a lot of tough things that Coach Whisenhunt has had to weigh today. Kurt Warner's in a position to set some very impressive single-season records this year. It doesn't look like he's going to have an opportunity with the half that they've had today offensively, but then trying to regain the confidence as a team moving forward and balancing all that with making sure that they have all their important players at as close to 100% as they possibly can for that first home playoff game out in Arizona in quite some time.
He has set one franchise record today, most attempts in one season, most pass attempts. Warner 6 of 13 today. Graham keeps it away from Welker. So the Patriots will take over with 1:24 remaining in this first half. Tomorrow at 9, 8 Central. Don't miss the Prison Break fall finale. Every covert plan, every double cross, every shocking revelation has all been leading up to one unbelievable moment. The Prison Break fall finale tomorrow at 9, 8 Central on Fox. Viewer discretion is advised. For the second straight week, Kurt Warner and the Cardinals trail 28-0. Cardinals have gone 3 and out now 5 times today. That's a season high. Only 25 3 and outs all season before today's game for Arizona. From the 29, Castle. Gaffney, his 4th catch. The Patriots first down, out of bounds at the 43-yard line, a gain of 14. The Visa halftime report is coming up with Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. They'll bring you scores and highlights from around the National Football League on the Fox Sports Ticker with up to the second snap. That's coming up on the Visa halftime report.
Moose, when you talked about it earlier, you'd rather see snow than sleet and rain. Well, I know you really don't care much, but down here it's starting to sleet and it's raining down here, so the ball is wet. The players are getting more wet. It's harder for the players to hold on to the ball, something that could be a problem for them in the second half.
Offense was not on the line of scrimmage. Penalties decline. Second down.
Goose, how can you say I don't care? I worry about you down there in the elements.
Yeah, okay. I know you're up there drinking your hot cocoa. I'm down here frostbitten.
How'd you guess?
You better save me some.
Dolphins Goose over the Chiefs, 24-21. I know you've been stockpiling some snowballs on top of your monitor.
Yeah, they're all on my hood from everyone helping me down here.
2nd and 10. Inside handoff to Falk. And Falk cut down just shy of the 45-yard line. Not only are the Patriots 9-0 while it's snowing in home games here in Foxborough, guys, 22-2 in their last 24 games during the month of December. And they've won their last 14 regular season games against NFC clubs. Some pretty powerful numbers.
Yeah, that's some impressive stuff right there, especially the record in December. I mean, you talk about it all the time. It becomes cliche. You want to be playing your best footballs going into the playoffs in the month of December. New England has been able to do that consistently over the years.
Jamar Gaffney again, his 5th reception, a first down in Cardinals territory. Gaffney gains 16 more yards.
It's like it's not even fair out there, Goose.
Really, you know what, Moose, we talked about it earlier that, you know, the Arizona Cardinals need some kind of momentum, something to look forward to. If they take Kurt Warner out right now at this point, there's nothing really I could see that they have done in the first half that would excite me as a coach and saying, hey, listen, we're getting better, going into the playoffs, in 2-3 weeks, you know, something to go and have a positive about. Over the last couple weeks, this Arizona club has really been flat, and it seems like they're almost content that they just made the playoffs and they don't want to do anything more than that.
I think one small positive for the Cardinals might be the play of Edgerrin James, 3 carries, 18 yards, who has barely seen the field over the last 2 months.
I agree with that one.
I'll take that one, Kenny.
And the other thing is you don't lose Kurt Warner to an injury because somebody slipped and missed a block on one of the big defensive linemen.
Aside from that, Goose, not much.
Yeah, you need some kind of confidence to go into that postseason.
2nd and 10, wide open, Wes Welker.
And we've talked about footing, we've talked about changing direction, but now it's just like fundamental football, just coverages. I mean, who's supposed to be there? And that was one of the things that both Adrian Wilson and Darnell Dockett told us when we sat down with them was, we're not doing a good job with fundamentals. And you're starting to see that again this afternoon late here in the second quarter.
1st and 10 from the Arizona 20.
These guys up front needs to make something happen.
Castle looking for Gaffney.
Oh boy, he landed right on his head.
Roderick Hood on the coverage. I guess, Goose, you could say the only other positive aside from Edgerrin James, the fact that, as we take one more look at the hard fall by Hood, the other positive, Goose, the fact that a couple of guys in their early 20s, Early Doucette and Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, got to experience snow for the first time.
Okay, let me write that one down, too. You're really stretching it there, Kenny, now. You're going out on a limb.
Well, it is 28-0.
Kenny's a glass half full guy, Goose.
That's right.
Me too. I am, too. I'm looking. I'm still looking.
Castle firing it through the end zone. Welker, the intended receiver. Welker today, 4 receptions, 1 touchdown, 1 snow angel.
There it is.
Now Gostowski will line up for a 38-yard attempt. Gostowski heading to the Pro Bowl along with Welker. Hansen is the holder from 38. It is good. Just inside the right upright. The Patriots lead is now 31-0.
And we talk about it, it becomes cliche sometimes in the NFL. When you talk about finishing strong, playing your best football in December, heading into the playoffs. And what this Patriot team has been able to do recently, very impressive. And again, just some attention to detail right there on that last field goal. It's third down. There's 7 seconds left. Last week in Oakland, a little bit of mismanagement that Bill Belichick he took that one. He said, I'll put that on me, even though I was ready to blame the snapper and the holder, because I think it's their responsibility. Just making that correction, we're not going to do something to throw away 3 points at the end of the half, just in case somebody gets tackled, we lose time, we don't get the opportunity. He makes sure he gets those 3 points at the end of the half, even when he's up 28. So he's always working on correcting things. That guy couldn't. He may be the most gracious host in the NFL. He's been fantastic to us this weekend.
And a tremendous owner. Patriots have gone to 4 Super Bowls the last 7 years. This is Sean Morey, returning to Massachusetts, Brown University product. Morey headed to the Pro Bowl on special teams. A 31-0 lead for the Patriots over the Arizona Cardinals. The Visa Halftime Report is coming up after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. We get ready for the second half here in Foxborough in the snow, with the Patriots leading the Cardinals by the score of 31-0 as we check out the first half numbers. Cardinals had no yards in the first quarter.
A banner second quarter where they got all the way up to 55, but when it's 31-0, I think you expect halftime stats to kind of line up like that. So
really a dominating performance in the first half by the Patriots, who still could win the AFC East with 2 victories and help. Well,
they're doing what they need to do. Take care of your business. You need a little bit of help, but you have to take care of yours first, and they did that in the first half. And Arizona, my goodness. Talk about a team trying to find their confidence, regain that swagger to come out and play a half like that. Boy, this trip is just completely backfired on them. And I agree with Jimmy Johnson, his comments at halftime. Get the guys who are important off that field. Don't leave them out there. It is what it is over the last month for this team. And really the only thing they can look back to is beating St. Louis, a team that they should beat. There's no excuse for this team not to beat them, but anybody that's been playoff caliber, 21-0, 28-0, 31-0. Oh boy.
Our first look at Neil Rackers today, the Cardinals place kicker. Kickoff taken by Sammy Morris. Remember, the Patriots won the toss but deferred at the start of the game, so they get the ball to begin this second half.
One of the big differences in that first half was the production at running back for the New England Patriots versus the Arizona Cardinals. Sammy Morris on the big screen, Lamont Jordan with a couple of touchdown runs, and then Kevin Falk with a touchdown on a pass reception. Arizona could not match New England in their production at the running back spot.
A look at the numbers. Jordan with the 2 touchdowns. Heath Evans in at fullback as the Patriots start from their own 24-yard line. Off the play fake. First reception of the day for Randy Moss. Moss picks up a first down and more. Down the sidelines. Moss is going to take it all the way 76 yards for the touchdown.
Everybody remembers what the field looked like at the end of the first half. This crew's done a great job getting this field ready for the second half. Call a play that you can take advantage of the condition of the field. They come out, run a quick screen, get everybody running. Randy Moss, untouched. Unbelievable. Little screen outside. Logan Mankins gets outside. Absolutely no contain. Nobody to force. Randy Moss back inside.
11th touchdown of the season for Moss. The longest pass play of the year for the Patriots. Castle, 76 yards to Moss, 38-0. New England. 11th touchdown of the season for Randy Moss. He is now 16 yards shy of his 9th 1,000-yard season. Kickoff is dropped by Preston, and then he's dropped by Antoine Spann. So Kurt Warner will start the second half for the Cardinals.
Why is that, Goose?
He must be making snowballs.
Or his equipment froze up.
There you go, guys. Sorry about that, Moose. Just down here dealing with the equipment situation. A lot of things freezing up. Talked to Ken Wisenhunt. You know, he said Warner was going to go in. He was going to see how he was going to do in the first series and then make a decision after that. But he says we need to get a little bit of momentum. And like we talked about, Moose, you need a little bit of momentum and confidence going into the postseason. He wants to get him out there. He thinks the conditions are a little bit better than they were in the first half. So we'll see what happens.
I know. I think right now they're walking that fine line of reinforcing the lack of confidence. I mean, you put him in for one series, you go 3 and out, then you bring him out. To me, at this point now, it's not about gaining confidence. It's about keeping your key players healthy. Anything could happen on this series, on this snap.
Second down and 9 after the 1-yard pickup by Edgerrin James on first down. Warner's pass intended for Fitzgerald Ellis-Hobbs on the coverage.
The conditions down here right now, Moose, it's not snowing, it's sleeting, there's rain, it's freezing rain, and actually the conditions on the field is starting to freeze up a little bit. You know, there's a coating of like wetness on the top, it's starting to freeze a little bit. So right now it's okay, but it could get worse.
Thanks, Goose. 5 straight incompletions for Warner. 3rd down and 9. Warner's pass is short. He was looking for early Doucette. So for the 6th time today, the Cardinals go 3 and out.
That's amazing. 25 all season and 6 today.
We mentioned earlier the Cardinals, the 2nd highest scoring team in the league. They have not scored fewer than 14 points in any game this season. Shut out so far today. Wes Welker waiting back at his own 40. End over end kick by Graham. Taken at the 42 by Welker. Welker out to the 48-yard line. There is a flag.
Now you start to wonder about New England's approach here in the second half at 38-0.
Holding number 15 of the receiving team during the kick. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down, New England. Timeout.
That's Kelly Washington.
You know, they've still got to win next week and have a little bit of help. So, you know, do you start thinking, hey, let's get Matt Castle on the side. Let's get Randy Moss on the sideline. Let's get Wes Welker on the sideline.
We'll see. Early 3rd quarter here in Foxborough. Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa. Patriots lead the Cardinals 38-0. Castle to the air on first down. The catch is made by the fullback, Heath Evans. And Evans is finally forced out of bounds in Cardinals territory at the Arizona 41 after a gain of 27 yards.
It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You flip it out to Randy Moss. He's gone for a touchdown. Now Heath Evans. I mean, look, there's nobody on the outside to prevent these big plays down the sideline.
Castle approaching 300 yards. He's now at 296. 3 wide receivers. Morris.
You know, Arizona
inside the 40. Excuse me, Goose.
That's okay. Arizona at some point tried. I mean, right now they're looking around wondering, what's going on here. I mean, you can't go and get pounded like that and then just like not react. You got to come out here and do something about it. Make a tackle. Some kind of impact. Have some respect. I mean, it's getting to the point of where just throw the towel in and walk off the field. Gotta come out here and play, because I know New England right now wants to go and pound the ball still at them.
Timeout called by Castle. 2nd and 9 when we return. 38-0 Pats. The Jets, the Dolphins, and the Patriots all with records of 9 and 5. Kansas City leads Miami by 4 at the half. Jets in Seattle later today. So things falling into place so far for the Patriots. 2nd down and 9. Castle is over 300 yards for the 3rd time this season as he finds Randy Moss for a gain of 13.
The NFC West needs to take a look at what the AFC East did last year and kind of use that as their rallying cry, because the New England Patriots, you see what they have to do to get into the playoffs because of what the Jets and Dolphins have done this season. Two teams that had terrible seasons last year, but were able to turn it around very quickly.
Dolphins won only one game last season. Morris up the middle. Another first down. Sammy Morris picks up 11.
Sammy Morris does a great job of being patient, waiting for the puller to come around and lead him through the hole. Really nice job by Sammy Morris. Watch him here. There he is in the backfield. Goes, gets the ball. The puller comes around. Nice. Mark LeVoir, great job opening the hole, getting downfield. I mean, he slips a little bit right there, but that's nice being patient.
Morris again on first down. As we check in with Kurt Menefee. Kurt.
A game slightly warmer and more competitive than yours. Tampa Bay hosting San Diego. Jeff Garcia scrambles to keep this play alive and finds Antonio Bryant wide open. 71 yards on the score. Bucks have their first lead of the day, 24-20. Keep in mind, a Bucks win coupled with an Atlanta loss later today against Minnesota, and Tampa Bay is in the playoffs. Kenny and Moose and Goose.
All right, thanks, Kurt. Bucks 6-0 at home this season. Castle to Welker. Cardinals finally bring Welker down after a gain of 6. Check out the NFC wildcard race. Bucks and Falcons 9 and 5. Eagles, of course, with that tie game in Cincinnati, they are 8-5-1.
A couple of games later today on Fox with some big playoff implications. Atlanta, Minnesota, big game, and then Philadelphia. If they can find a way in, if these other teams that are in the mix, Atlanta playoffs, that is a dangerous team right now. They're playing as well as they have all season.
Donovan's a man reborn, Moose.
Well, the Twins are born. His head is clear, and he is playing well.
3 consecutive victories for the Eagles. Castle picks up the first down on the sneak, and what a story. You mentioned earlier Tom Brady played only 15 snaps, injured week 1 against Kansas City. Castle never started a game in college, never started a game in the pros. He backed up Carson Palmer. He backed up Matt Leinart at USC. Did not start a game since his senior year in high school. And we heard what Howie Long said at halftime. He said Castle is going to be printing more money than the Feds come free agency.
Well, the great thing about it is his approach, just the belief that his opportunity will come. And I love his response, as the backup quarterback, everybody tells you you're just one snap away. Carson's out there, but you're one snap away. And then it's Matt Leinart, and you're one snap away. And then Tom Brady, and you're one snap away. And he's like, I was one snap away for almost a decade before I finally got my opportunity. And he was very complimentary of the entire New England Patriot organization for having the confidence in him, a guy who threw 33 passes in college, to draft him in the 7th round.
But like you said, Moose, he got his opportunity and he made the best of it. He came out.
Start number 71, offense. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That's on Holstein.
And now his stock has risen, like Howie mentioned in the pregame show. And, everybody's eyes are on him right now.
The big thing is when they were there together, obviously, Matt Leinart, he went where he did. There's Matt Castle together. I liked Matt's comments. He talked about Matt Castle. Matt Leinart did, and said, I was a year younger than him. They opened it up at competition, and Matt Castle made me a better quarterback because that competition for the starting job went late into the year. And then Matt Leinart always felt, I had to play well every week because Matt Castle was so talented that if I had a bad game, I wasn't going to have an opportunity to be a starter. He was that good behind me, and obviously the year that they had and the skill set that Matt Leinart had around him, Matt Castle never got an opportunity there at USC after Carson left.
Competition brings the best out of pros, man.
Interception by Falkus, and we talked to Bill Belichick about Matt Castle. He said Matt had a tremendous spring workout prior to the draft. Belichick and his staff spoke with Pete Carroll, the former Patriots head coach, who said it was a very, very close competition between Leinart and Castle, and Matt Leinart wound up not only winning the job, but winning the Heisman Trophy.
But Scott Pioli and everybody here in the Patriots organization being smart and looking at that situation, Matt Castle, don't let him get to free agency. He had a connection at Tennessee with Norm Chow, the offensive coordinator for USC. There was a connection with the Cincinnati Bengals and Carson Palmer being there. New England didn't have a connection to Matt Castle, so they felt, let's take him in the 7th round, as opposed to letting him get to free agency and then maybe getting into a bidding war with somebody because he feels more comfortable going where he has a connection. So again, just little things, thinking ahead, knowing what the right way to approach a situation was, and it's paid huge dividends for the Patriots with him as their backup.
Well, if you're a general manager right now, Moose, and you have Matt Castle and his contract's up, you have Tom Brady coming back off an injury, what do? Do you pay Matt Castle? Or do you say, hey, listen, we have to let you go and get Tom Brady back?
Well, Tom is the guy. It's going to be interesting to see what Scott Pioli does playing this thing out. A great position to be in, but I don't know if I don't want to make that call.
Hi, this is Staff Sergeant Talia Ferguson. I'm in Joint Base Balad. I just wanted to give a shout out to my family and my husband back home. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Happy 30th anniversary, baby. I hope to see you guys again soon. Love you. Bye.
Wow, she's giving up Christmas, New Year's, and the anniversary. Tough. Thank you for all you do.
Happy holidays to all of the troops. Gostowski kicks off with his field goal prior to the break. He ties Tony Franklin's franchise record, 32 successful field goals in one season. Franklin did it back in '86 as Preston looks for running room, and he's tackled by Heath Evans.
They have been dominant in every single phase of the game this afternoon, the New England Patriots. Offensively, defensively, and even special teams. I mean, Wes Welker's given them great field position. Their coverage units have been excellent. Gostkowski's kicking field goals.
Kurt Warner comes out for another series. Cardinals start from their own 12-yard line. Now trailing 41-0. Warner throws. Urban, the intended receiver. Hobbs on the coverage. Kurt Menefee.
Well, the battle for the top spot in the AFC keeps going back and forth between Pittsburgh and Tennessee. This is Chris Johnson, the rookie, scoring from 21 yards out, and it puts the Titans back on top 17-14 in the third quarter. Kenny Moose and Goose.
Thanks, Kurt. Both teams have clinched their divisions, jockeying for that top seed and home field advantage throughout. Giants and Carolina will battle tonight for the number 1 seed in the NFC. Warner's pass incomplete. Intended for Preston as Matt Leinart gets loose on the Arizona sideline.
I would have had him getting loose in the last series, so he was ready to go in this series. With the elements and then the protection up front, Kurt Warner hasn't had that much of an opportunity to get anything going positively. And we've been wondering, how you balance that all afternoon, establishing that confidence, regaining your swagger going into the playoffs, with the potential of Kurt getting hurt, or maybe reinforcing the doubt that this team could have.
Timeout, New England. That's their second charge. Timeout. 30-second timeout.
Patriots defense has forced 6 3-and-outs. Cardinals with only 56 yards of offense as Matt Ware heads to the Arizona locker room. You would think this would be the last series for Kurt Warner today.
Well, I thought the last one would have been. So, at least Matt is up throwing the ball right now. So that gives you every indication that this is going to be the last one.
Yeah, he should have been out that first series.
And once Randy Moss catches it and goes for the touchdown, even if I wanted to put Kurt in at that time, I might have said, hey, Matt, get loose as fast as you can. You're going.
Cardinals know they will host a playoff game. They will finish with either the number 3 or 4 seed in the NFC. Cardinals franchise will host a playoff game for the first time since 1947 when they were the Chicago Cardinals, and they hosted Philadelphia in the NFL championship game at Comiskey Park. It's their first division title since 75, their first playoff berth since 98. Warner on 3rd and 10. Dumps it off. Bobbled by Fitzgerald. There is a flag.
Holding number 76 offense. Penalties decline. 4th down.
Looked like Kirk could almost ran for the first down on that one instead of flipping it over to Fitzgerald.
Yeah, well, flip it to him and stay in there. You don't want him down in that secondary taking a shot.
If he slides, he'll probably get slide 15 or 20 yards on this ice skating rink out here.
Guys, 9 straight incompletions for Warner. Worst streak of his career as far as consecutive incomplete passes.
You mentioned, Kenny, some of the superlatives that this team has accomplished this year. There's a lot of firsts that Arizona has done. It's been a positive season, but right now they don't have that confidence. They haven't been able to handle those successes.
Welker across midfield. Midway through the 3rd quarter. All New England today. Three teams in the AFC East, 9-5, and terrific news for the Patriots and their fans. The Chiefs now lead the Dolphins by 7. 2 Patriot wins, and 1 loss by the Jets, 1 loss by the Dolphins, as Morris picks up a first down, and the Patriots would win the AFC East for the 6th consecutive year. There's a flag after Morris gained 19.
Holding number 71. 10-yard penalty. 77. 7-7. 10 yards. Repeat first down.
That's the right tackle, Nick Kazher.
He's inside the framework.
No, that's outside the framework. Come on, man. You offensive guys always looking for some way to get away with something. Looked like you had wings there, man. You got to keep it in there, near the pecs.
What's the framework there? What is the framework?
Framework's is inside the arms, not outside the arms.
It was inside the arms?
Get out of here. He had the shoulder pin was straight up in the air. Are you kidding me?
Settle down, guys.
He's up there all dry in the booth, and he wants to go and get the offense and get a little break.
Let's see. Right when he breaks out here, right there. He gets that handoff. Look at that. Boy, you can see both the numbers. You can see both the numbers. Look at that framework. Inside. Watch as he spins. There it is. Inside. That's right. And then to the ground.
Smooth. The framework is in here. This is the framework. You have your hands in here. Out here is not the framework. He was out here. What, are you kidding me?
The 5 and the 8 were in the exact same place. They never moved from the back.
You can't have the hand on the outside like this and drive. That's where you're going to get called. As long as they're inside here near the pecs, you're fine.
They were right on the pecs.
Oh, man.
Look at him right there. There's one pec, and then watch him adjust this one right here. He gets it back on. It get off there for a second, just for a fraction of a second, and then he got it right back on.
Come on, the shoulder pad was going straight up in the air.
Had a nice job by our Lou Tribbiani, used as a prop by Goose.
I'd throw a snowball up there at you, but you're about 70 yards away. I'll come up there.
You're going to get it. You throw one up there, you're going to have about 100 coming back.
My shoulder will be up there, too. Dislocate.
Castle complete to Welker. Kurt Menefee, what did you think?
I think I'm just going to show you the San Diego-Tampa Bay highlight. Here's the Chargers' Phillip Rivers his third touchdown pass of the day, second to Antonio Gates. San Diego's got a 27-24 lead in Tampa. And remember, if San Diego wins its last two and Denver loses its last two, then San Diego wins the AFC West. Kenny Moose and Goose.
Thanks, Kurt. On first down, Lamont Jordan. Goose threatened to come up to the booth. He did come up week 16 last season in Buffalo.
Well, he had an excuse last year, week 16. That was some of the worst weather I've ever seen.
Oh, this isn't an excuse now, right?
But this isn't
I'm
bad.
standing over here in 4 feet of snow. My toes are frostbit. And you're up there nice and easy with your tie on and everything. I'm soaking wet. I think I might be over 300 pounds right now with all this wetness in my jacket.
So how is this day different than any other?
How much does that jacket weigh? Half a pound?
Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. It's going to be coming up to very soon.
2nd and 3, Jordan. Lamont Jordan has a first down. Matt Castle has thrown for 334 yards in today's game. He told us yesterday, early in the season when he took over for Tom Brady, things were pretty stressful, more stressful than fun, but he's certainly having fun out there today.
Expectations. I mean, it's all about expectations, and look what he's done. I mean, that's why he's having fun now. Matt Castle, 21. The other two combined that he backed up his career at USC, only 3 total this year. So when you first get out there, the expectations that this organization has created and what Tom Brady has done at the position.
Walker, his 7th catch today. Not only did Matt Castle back up Carson Palmer, but Palmer was the best man at Matt Castle's wedding. They've remained close. Matt Leinart, as you mentioned, with complimentary things to say about Castle as Goose puts himself to good use here.
You guys never had to do this, right?
The more you can do, Tony.
I clean my own area over here and everything.
You know, just like when you were a player, the more you can do.
That's right. You're right. You're right. Job security.
Oh, Lamont Jordan up the middle.
Can we go to Kurt for another update?
Nice throw, Tony. Take it away, Kurt.
Go ahead.
You guys have gotten down to showing Siragusa shoveling snow, huh? Anyway, Ricky Williams ties the game in Kansas City. They and Miami keep scoring back and forth. Right now it's all even at 31. You know the playoff scenario, and something tells me that's not the only thing that Tony will be shoveling for the rest of the day. Kenny Moose and Goose.
Kurt, it's 41-0. If you've got something better to show or talk about in this game, I'll be happy to address it.
2nd and 7. The toss to Morris. Well, speaking of Kurt, we all took a couple of shots at Kurt last week, but in case you missed it earlier today,
I can do anything I want. I'm on TV. That's the real me. Marley's going to help Jimmy with his picks.
How far I have fallen taking my picks from a dog now.
Hey, somebody remind Kurt, don't take your shirt off, ever. Not even when you're swimming, the beach, always keep it on. But I'd rather shovel snow than have my shirt off, Kurt.
things have deteriorated for us here in the 3rd quarter at 41-0. Thanks for hanging in. Patriots send out the field goal unit. Gostowski 2 for 2 today, and if he connects here, he will set a new franchise record with 33 field goals in one season.
We are going to get an opportunity maybe to see Matt Leinart come out here and do what he could do. A lot of people want to see that, like myself.
Leinart has played in only 2 games this season in relief of Warner. And Gostowski now the new franchise record holder, his 33rd successful field goal. And the Patriots have scored on 8 of their 9 drives in today's game. Coming up next, many of you will see Donovan McNabb and the Philadelphia Eagles as they take on their division rivals, the Washington Redskins. McNabb 3-0 since his benching, 7 touchdown passes in those 3 games.
And also Brian Westbrook, he's gotten on a little bit of a roll also. So now you got your 2 big guns playing well for the Philadelphia Eagles. And there's what Brian Westbrook's been doing the last 3 games too. Almost 100 yards per game rushing, 6 touchdowns. Every time we do a Philadelphia game, all the defensive players, the defensive coordinator, we have to stop Westbrook.
Kurt told us about San Diego leading Tampa Bay, and that is good news for the Eagles. Chargers up 27-24.
Things really fallen for Philadelphia last night and then early today. New England, they've got the Dolphins tied up 31-31 with the Chiefs, so it's trying to tip in their favor. And then the Jets are later today.
Both the Jets and Dolphins do not each lose a game over these final 2 weeks. The Patriots with 2 wins would also be in good shape if the Ravens lose at home to Jacksonville next Sunday. Ravens winning in Dallas last night.
Boy, some bad tackling last night at the end of that game, Goose.
Especially late in the fourth quarter. Touchdown runs of 77 and 82 yards for the Ravens. Preston on the return. And he's upended as he crosses the 20 by Mike Richardson. So Matt Leinart, who has started 16 games for the Cardinals over the last 2 seasons, 11 starts in 2006, and then 5 last year before he suffered a broken collarbone. Leinart off the bench to replace Kurt Warner, who went 6 for 18. His last 9 pass attempts were incompletions. Tim Hightower in the backfield. 3:26 remaining, third quarter. Patriots leading the Cardinals 44-0. Leinart handing it off to Hightower. And Hightower is met first by Vince Wilfork.
He is a force in there. Hey, we've talked about Arizona trying to establish the run, and Tony mentioned at the top that all the running backs, fullbacks, running backs were excited because they were going to be forced into position to have to run the football today. And one of the reasons they haven't had any success is Vince Wilfork in the middle. He's been dominant.
Looks like a true nose guard, too, having to play right over the center and not having help, having to play really against 3 guys, the center and both guards.
Looks like Leinart might be having problems hearing the signals called in from the sidelines as Vrabel goes down. Leinart yelled over at the sideline, then he took his helmet
Offside,
off.
unabated to the quarterback, number 50 of the defense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Unabated to the quarterback. I don't know if he could have got up and got to the quarterback.
Leinart over for a chat with offensive coordinator Todd Haley.
You don't think he's going to get there, Goose?
No, he's trying. He's trying.
Leinart keeps taking that helmet off, Darryl, and putting it back on. So something's going on with the coach-to-quarterback communication system. Second down and 5. Empty backfield for the Cardinals, who have gained 56 yards of offense today. Leinart through the hands of Hightower.
Now, you know what? It's not working, so, get the signals from the side, the old-fashioned way.
Just call anything.
Yeah.
Call down. What's your favorite play? You got an excuse to the coach.
44. No, hey,
$9.99. Everybody down the field.
What were you thinking? My communication was down.
Yeah,
I just went with what I thought would work.
That's an opportunity. Yeah.
Empty backfield, third down and 5. Up for the Cardinals as Leinart takes off, and he picks up a first down. That is the 4th first down for the Arizona Cardinals today.
Well, good job recognizing what was happening there. They're trying to set their protection on Mike Vrabel, and then when he moves to the outside, you heard the slide. So you've got one-on-one on the outside with Jarvis Green and Levi Brown. So understand that. Good job handling that snap, but you see a little space, get up there. Your protection had turned, your guy got beat one-on-one.
First and 10 from the 34. Leinart loses the football, and it's recovered by Hightower.
He's letting that get to him too much. He's really frustrated with the communication stuff.
You got to get focused in on what you're doing.
And we saw the last snap. That's a heck of a job getting a hold of that one. But then on the very next play, just a kind of a routine play, the ball just kind of pops out of his hand.
He has gloves on too, Moose. I don't know if I like the glove situation. I think that the gloves get wet. I know my gloves were wet down here on the sideline, and it was slipping. And it looks like he's having a hard time holding on to the ball. I like the bare hand on the leather, so you could feel it. You could have a nice grip on it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
This animation domination gives the gifts that keep on giving with The Simpsons, King of the Hill, Family Guy, and American Dad. The animation domination celebration starts at 8/7 Central tonight on Fox. Viewer discretion is advised. Leinart hopes to have the problem worked out with the communication device in his helmet. New England Patriots lead the Arizona Cardinals 44-0. Patriots led 14-0 after one, 31-0 at the half. 3 touchdown passes for Matt Castle, who was a year ahead of Matt Leinart at USC. Leinart beat him out for the job, won a Heisman Trophy, drafted 10th overall by the Cardinals back in 2006. Second down and 18. Leinart over the middle, nearly intercepted. Fitzgerald did a nice job to knock it away from Deltha O'Neal.
Well, you're hoping once they got this field cleared that it would be a little bit better for the Arizona offense this second half. It's kind of stayed in good shape. Tony, it's getting slick down there. I mean, it looks decent from up here, but it is slick.
You know what? It's still raining. It's not getting cold enough to go and form ice right now. You're getting little ice pellets down here, but it's the best conditions that I've seen down here so far today.
Boy, Deltha O'Neal ran that route for Larry Fitzgerald. He was running the in one step ahead of Larry Fitzgerald.
Third down and 18. Leinart loses the football on the hit from Merriweather. And it's recovered by Jarvis Green. Brandon Merriweather, the first-round pick last year out of Miami, with his second sack of the season. Jarvis Green recovers the Leinart fumble.
Shotgun snap, but you got a guy coming free right between the guard center gap. Now, when you're off the center, you don't have to hard call it. They brought more than they could block. It looked like between the gaps.
Yeah, Deuce Lutie, man, he's got to go and recognize somebody coming through them inside gaps. At a time outside to go and move around the pocket. But when he comes up on the middle like that, you got to take the guy who's going to be the biggest pain in the neck. And that was Lutie right there. You got to take him.
Lamont Jordan down to the 1. There is a flag.
Holding, number 84, offense. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
That's on the tight end, Watson.
Ben Watson, number 84. You see how the numbers all messed up on that one, Tony? The 6 is kind of sliding around to his rib cage, and the 5 is moving to the center.
That was holding. He's near the numbers.
No. That was a hold.
Wasn't a hold. I mean, you got to have a meeting. You got to talk.
So the former offensive player, the fullback, thinks that one was a hold. The defensive player says no. Pass intended for Sammy Morris.
Sammy Morris took his eyes downfield before he had the catch.
Secure the catch first. We've never heard that in our lives, huh, Moose?
No.
Secure the catch first and then go and try to get extra yards.
Well, Lamont's got 2 touchdowns and Kevin Falk's got 1. He's the only one left out at the running back spot, so he's trying to sneak a peek and find out where he was going.
By the way, this is the 4th time this season the Patriots have scored at least 40 points. They've done it 3 of the last 5 games. 48 in Miami, 49 last week in Oakland, 41 earlier this season against Denver. Here's Morris down to the 11-yard line, and that should take us to the end of the 3rd quarter here in Foxborough. Miami and Kansas City are tied at 31, late 3rd. Patriots lead this game 44-0. Fox NFL Sunday will return after these messages. Never stop coaching, even at 44-0.
No, absolutely not. There's always something you can be better at.
3rd down and 7. 4 wide receivers. Castle from the shotgun. Castle's pass is bobbled, and Tyson DeVries thought he made the catch, but it's ruled an incomplete pass. The rookie out of Colorado. Let's see.
Nope.
Hit the ground.
Nice call by the officials.
It was good concentration. He was working on it.
So Gostowski out to attempt a 30-yard field goal. He is 3 for 3 today. Now 4 for 4. Gostowski headed to the Pro Bowl, extending the Patriots' lead. It's now 47-0 New England. The Patriots' lead is now 47-0. Bill Belichick shaking hands with Matt Castle, who was 20 for 36 today. 345 yards, 3 touchdowns. Kevin O'Connell, the rookie out of San Diego State, warming up on the New England sideline. Steve Preston on the return. Preston tackled shy of the 30. With the Patriots out on top, 47-0. Matt Leinart comes in for his second series. Largest margin of defeat in Cardinals franchise history, a 49-0 loss to the Chiefs in December of 2002. Cardinals second in the league, averaging 299 passing yards per game. That average will go down a bit following today's game.
4. Not good.
That pass nearly intercepted by Vince Red. That 4 yards takes into account the yards lost via sacks. So 2nd and 10 upcoming. Cardinals, as Goose pointed out so eloquently in our open, had not played in snow since 1983, a game in St. Louis, where the Cardinals franchise was based through the 88 season. Snow was falling much heavier earlier today and throughout the first half. 2nd and 10. Leinart looking for Fitzgerald. Merriweather got a hand on it. Of course, one of the most famous games played in snow in league history took place in Foxborough across the street in December of 1982. Goose, that's your old coach, Ron Meyer.
There he is.
He directed the snowplow driven by Mark Henderson, who was out of prison on a work release program. Henderson cleared a spot on the field for John Smith. Patriots won the game 3-0. The next year, the NFL banned the use of snowplows, and the snowplow used that day by Mark Henderson is on display. It's hanging from the ceiling at the hall at Patriot Place, just outside Gillette Stadium.
That is awesome to go and have the snowplow in the little Hall of Fame that the Patriots have. That's
yeah, unless you were a Dolphin fan as a kid growing up, yeah, it was a great thing.
Yeah, then you want to buy it, you want to go and demolish it.
Don Shula still bitter about the snowplow incident, and
I'm still bitter about it.
There's Robert Kraft, so instrumental in the success this franchise has had over the last decade and a half, constructing Patriot Place, which opened last year. Snowplows are allowed, of course, prior to the game and at halftime, just not during the game, to create a better opportunity for a field goal.
I love the idea of having a Hall of Fame for your organization incorporated into the stadium. And Bob Kraft has done it here. There's one at Lambeau Field.
Yeah,
Jerry
Green
Jones
Bay
is going to have one at the new Cowboys Stadium. I think it's a great idea because I just think that there's so many people that are fans of this game, and even some of the players that are playing the game, they don't understand the history of what the NFL is all about. Sometimes even their own franchise.
A backup wide receiver, the rookie Matthew Slater, is in at safety for the Patriots, and Leinart showing a nice touch, completing the pass to Jeremy Urban for a gain of 27, by far the longest play of the day for the Cardinals on offense.
As you pointed out, Kenny, a nice touch here. Jeremy Urban's got Patriot defenders all around him, and great concentration. Because he's running right into Deltha O'Neal. You think Deltha thinks he's going to get it, and all of a sudden Jeremy stretches out and takes it away from him.
After every play, too, Matt Leiner's running over to the sideline to get the play. Coming back on right now, he's using his numbered on his plays on his wrist. So they're actually going and calling out 13 or 26, and he's looking on his wrist for the specific play that he has written down there.
Still having problems with the helmet communication.
Matt Wright he's done a heck of a job today. I mean, he has been in the backfield a number of times, knocking these quarterbacks around, whether it was Kurt Warner or now Matt Leiner, but Mike Wright, just number 99. How many times have we seen him back there, Goose?
He's been living in the backfield all day, and he's doing a great job. And one thing is, on the screens that Arizona was throwing earlier, he actually went and rushed the passer and stayed with it and got to the passer before they can get the screen off. So that's a lot of quickness.
Leiner on 2nd and 10, deflected and picked off by Ellis Hobbs. His 3rd interception this year, the 9th of his career. Off the hands of Urban, Hobbs with the pick. $47-0 Patriots. Dolphins still tied with the Chiefs. 31-all early 4th quarter. Jets and Seattle later this afternoon. Kevin O'Connell now in at quarterback for New England, making his 2nd appearance. Played against Miami back in week 3. Hands it off to the fullback, Heath Evans. O'Connell, 3rd-round draft pick out of San Diego State. He's thrown 4 passes this year, completing 3. Of course, started the season as the 3rd quarterback, and then with the injury suffered by Brady, moved up a notch.
If he's smart, he'll do exactly what Matt Castle did. Matt Castle learned from Tom Brady. He has an opportunity, Kevin O'Connell, to learn from Tom Brady and now Matt Castle. And who knows how much longer Matt Castle is going to be a Patriot.
On 2nd and 7. Pass is caught by the former Buffalo Bill, Sam Aiken, his 8th catch of the year, but he loses 2 yards. Matt Castle hopes that Howie Long's halftime prediction comes to fruition.
You know, everybody automatically assumed that Matt would be, highly sought after in free agency. And then when you sit down and meet him and talk to him, it is going to be very, very hard for Scott Pioli and this organization to keep Matt Castle here, because as impressive as he is when you watch him on film and at the stadium, when you actually sit down and talk to him, you're even more impressed.
I agree. Pass intended for Slater, and of course the story well documented. Matt's dad passed away prior to last week's game against Oakland. He left the team, threw a career-high 4 touchdown passes in the game against the Raiders. His mom, by the way, Matt's mom, an Emmy award-winning set designer out in California. And his brothers, professional pitchers. Jack Castle pitched in 9 games for the Houston Astros. Justin in the White Sox system. Only the 2nd punt today by Hansen. Now the fair catch was called for by Roll, and then it was Breston who fielded the punt. You don't see that very often.
Let me make the decision for you.
Early 4th quarter in the snow, 47-0 Patriots. Coming up next, the 2nd game of our Fox doubleheader. Many of you will see the Eagles and the Redskins, or the Falcons and the Vikings. Leiner, inside handoff to Hightower. Falcons and Vikings, big game this afternoon, including the top 2 rushers in the entire league.
you know, Matt Ryan getting a lot of attention as a rookie quarterback down there for Atlanta, but I didn't know that. I didn't know that Michael Turner was number 2 in the NFL rushing. No, he was having a good season, but that was surprising.
After backing up LaDainian Tomlinson in San Diego, a fluttering pass by Leinart, and the catch is made on his back for a first down by Tim Hightower. Gain of 14 on the play.
Good adjustment, good ad-lib by both Tim Hightower and Matt Leinart. Protection breaks down, he's out in the flat, turn the ball up the sideline. Little scramble drill executed in the field.
Leinart, the slant, Fitzgerald. A first down, second catch of the game for Fitzgerald. Gain of 13 as we check in with Kurt.
Well, a rough finish for Tampa Bay. Jeff Garcia, bloodied and battered, stayed in the game, and maybe the blood was in his eye on this one. He hooks up with Antoine Cason. Unfortunately, Cason plays for the Chargers. He takes it 59 yards for the score. San Diego's up 41-24. If Buffalo beats Denver this week, it will set up a showdown next week between Denver and San Diego for the AFC West Championship. Kenny Moose and Goose?
Wow, so the Bucs trail by 17, in danger of losing at home for the first time this season. Leinart's pass is caught by Preston for a gain of 7. So Matt Leinart and the Cardinals moving downfield on this drive with just over 4 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter.
Well, how about Jeff Garcia? Holy cow.
The Bucs trailing. Good news for the rest of the NFC teams who are chasing wild card spots, including the Philadelphia Eagles getting ready to take on the Washington Redskins. Second down and 3. Leinart dumps it off, but Hightower could not hang on.
One of our second games this afternoon, the Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons. Big playoff implications. Minnesota, if they win, wins the NFC North. And one of the guys on that Minnesota team, Matt Burke, heading up Gridiron Guardian Sunday, going to donate $50,000 to the Gridiron Greats humanitarian effort. We did it last year. They're doing it again this year. Kyle Turley was the lead guy last year. This year it's going to be Matt Burke. And he's going to have some of his Minnesota Viking teammates and some other players around the league donating all or portions of their game day salaries today to the Gridiron Greats organization. They've already done $800,000 in fundraising passed out to players in situations. It's a humanitarian effort. And one of the new additions they have a multi-million-dollar pro bono medical program offering a myriad of services. And thank you to Matt Burke for organizing that this season. For more information, you can log on to gridirongrades.org.
What a tremendous gesture by the perennial Pro Bowl center, who went to school in this area. Matt graduated from Harvard. Their catch called for, and then Falk let it bounce. Patriots take over, leading by 47. All smiles on the New England sideline. Randy Moss with a 76-yard touchdown reception earlier on his first catch of the game. Matt Castle, 3 touchdown passes. Patriot lead is 47-0 as O'Connell hands it off. Well, the Colts and Panthers have already clinched playoff berths this weekend. Panthers by virtue of the Dallas loss last night. Tennessee leading Pittsburgh 24-14, so they clinch the number 1 seed of the AFC with a win today. Denver clinches the AFC West with a win over Buffalo, and Minnesota would clinch the NFC North with a win over the Atlanta Falcons. And the Giants-Carolina winner clinches home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. 2nd and 7. This is Jordan. Lamont Jordan helped set the tone early with 2 touchdown runs in the first quarter as the Cardinals are playing in the snow for the first time in 25 years. Patriots have never lost at home when it was snowing at the opening kickoff.
And there was a lot of things that kind of pointed to this game being this type of game, and that was the fact that it was snowing. The Cardinals have really struggled coming to the East Coast. New England's got a fantastic December schedule. Arizona had not played well 2 out of the last 3 weeks coming into this, but this is a shocking score to me. And I think a New England victory, but not 47-0 at this point in the fourth quarter.
Patriots will keep their playoff hopes very much alive. They will travel to Buffalo next week, and the Patriots have won their last 10 games over the Bills. Dolphins and Chiefs are tied at 31 with 5 minutes remaining as the Patriots will punt here. Cardinals know they're in the playoffs. They clinched 2 weeks ago by virtue of a weak NFC West this season. Cardinals 5-0 within their division, and they will host a playoff game in 2 weeks after finishing up the regular season next week against Seattle.
I'm going to show you something right here. Here's Mike Vrabel. Now he started his career as a special teams player. He's out there right now playing the end spot on the punt team because of injuries, because it's what's best for the team. He's a Pro Bowler, does a little bit of everything that the Patriots ask him to do, and here he is out there jumping in because they're down in numbers on the punt team. And we had a great conversation with Bill Belichick this weekend about team and the process of what he goes through, and it all comes from his experience while he was at the Naval Academy. We came in and I said, hey, I have a hello for you from Roger Staubach. Was in a meeting with him this week, and he made me promise to say hello to you, and we started talking about Navy. And when Bill Belichick was there, when his dad, Steve, was the coach, he was about 11, 12 years old when that 63 team was playing football. They finished 9-2, number 2 in the final AP poll. That's his model of what a team should be like. And really, I mean, it's probably one of the greatest teams, that has ever been assembled, not just at the Naval Academy, but really when you look at what all those guys did after they left the academy. We all know what Roger Staubach did, but one of the people that both Roger Staubach and Bill Belichick talked about was Tom Lynch, who was the captain of that team, and called him probably the greatest leader he has ever met. And Tom Lynch, 31 years, a distinguished service for the Navy, retired in 1995 with the rank of Rear Admiral. He was the commander of the Eisenhower Battle Group and Operation Desert Shield, actually the superintendent of the Naval Academy from 91 to 94. And all these guys from that class did that. So Bill Belichick's model of what a team really should be is kind of based on that 1963 Navy team that was so outstanding. And I think, he carries a lot of those principles with his approach. And I mean, you're talking about a team that has, won 3 out of 4 Super Bowls in that span. And my group with Dallas did it. The New England Patriots were able to pull that off. And you can't do that unless you have a great team and you have great players within that team. So I thought it was absolutely amazing that when you talk about a model and how you base the concept of team, Bill Belichick automatically goes back to probably one of the greatest groups ever assembled at the Naval Academy.
And one of the things Belichick told us about that group, they all keep in touch via email.
On a weekly basis. And talking to Roger Staubach, I think he said that there's like 15 admirals.
Run it to Fitzgerald. And Larry Fitzgerald dives for the end zone. Touchdown. The Arizona Cardinals are finally on the scoreboard. A 78-yard pass play from Leinart to Fitzgerald.
That's a nice throw. Bill Belichick not real happy. All coaches, especially those with a defensive background, want that shutout. Ellis Hobbs in coverage. Just beat out. He's kind of waiting on the hitch, waiting on the curl route, and Larry Fitzgerald just keeps on going by him. But that ruins our nugget that we had for everybody today. Kenny? Should we tell him anyways?
Go ahead. It's all you.
We were looking at the first time that Kurt Warner ever would have been shut out as a starter in his career in the NFL.
I doubt he was ever shut out in the Arena League.
Yeah, I don't. Does anybody get shut out in the Arena League?
I'll throw it right back at you. Longest pass of Leinart's NFL career, longest reception for Fitzgerald in the National Football League.
There we go.
78 yards. So the Patriots lead is now 47-7. Darrell talking about that 1963 team at the Naval Academy. He mentioned Bill Belichick's late father, Steve. He was on the staff at the Naval Academy for 33 years. And Bill grew up in Annapolis as an 11, 12-year-old. Spent a lot of time around that 1963 club.
Right, and you can tell the impact that it had on him. And that's where the discipline comes from. I mean, listening to the Arizona player, we've got to match the discipline that New England plays with. They're not penalized. They very rarely make mistakes. They're always doing their job. And all of that comes from the experience that Bill Belichick had at the Naval Academy while his late father, Steve, was head coach.
The Dolphins have taken a 7-point lead over the Chiefs.
What's that?
4:08 remaining in Kansas City. Remember, the Dolphins and Jets will play each other next week. Again, the Patriots win the division with 2 wins. A win today and a win next week in Buffalo. And a loss by both Miami and the Jets. They would reach as a wild card with 2 wins and a Ravens loss to Jacksonville.
Talking about the Ravens, Moose, at the game last night. You want to talk about that at all?
What happened in that game?
You tell me.
There's Hobbs.
I'm going to wear my jersey for a whole week.
We had a hat. It was a hat.
Yeah, but I just extended it.
Moose, the former Cowboy. Goose, the former Raven, with a bit of a wager on last night's game. And
I should, because the fact that there was 148 yards after contact given up on the last 2 rushing plays, I should wear your jersey all week long.
You should.
I really should. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable.
What,
for the last game ever to be played in that stadium, too.
Yeah, what I wanted to ask you about, Darrell, your biggest memory of Texas Stadium.
I always go back. Well, I had my, my first touchdown was there against the Miami Dolphins. My favorite team growing up is as a little guy, so that was kind of cool. But I always go back to the opening game of the season against the Washington Redskins in 1991. We ended up losing the game 31-30, but it was kind of the game that gave us the confidence and the belief that we could play with some of the good teams in the NFL. We were coming off of a 7-9 season the year before. We're 1-15 the year before that. And that game, Hank Williams Jr. was there. He actually sang the Monday night theme in person. And it was, it was as an emotional, as an electric experience I've ever had in Texas Stadium. So that was always one of my favorite games ever played there.
Moose, we both lost our first stadiums we've ever played in.
How about that?
The RCA Dome was imploded. I think it was yesterday or the day before. And Texas Stadium now, no more Dallas games in it. So.
The RCA Dome in Indianapolis. As we check in on the Dolphins and the Chiefs with Kurt.
Yeah, the playoff implications for New England. Miami, they need Miami or the Jets to lose somewhere along the way, but Miami not cooperating. They take a late lead on an Anthony Fasano touchdown. Less than 4 minutes left in Kansas City. Dolphins up by a touchdown. Kenny, Moose, and Goose.
All right, thanks very much, Kurt. Darrell, you mentioned Hank Williams Jr. singing at Texas Stadium. Goose mentioned the Dome in Indianapolis. When Goose was a member of the Colts, he had a brief singing career. Did you know that?
I've heard about it.
There's Lamont Jordan.
And fortunately for me, I'm trying to get into the Christmas spirit here. It's getting close to the 25th.
Would you
Goose, can you help me out with that at all?
Would you guys like to take a listen?
Yeah, let's hear it, Kenny. Let's see what you got.
Merry Christmas. We wish you a
not
Merry
bad.
Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings to you.
What do you think, Moose?
I like the backup singers.
The background singers. I put my own couple lyrics into this. Check this out. Get ready, man. You ready?
You don't want to put Pete through that, do you?
Come on, man. You just got to put my lyrics back on. I'm going to come in the truck there.
First down.
Pete Macheska.
First down for Sammy Morris. That was Goose's Christmas music back in the 90s as a member of the Indianapolis Colts, as the Patriots And Cardinals are approaching 3.5 minutes remaining. New England leading 47-7. And the Dolphins 38-31 over the Chiefs. Jets and Seahawks will get underway shortly. Cardinals headed to the playoffs despite losing today for the 4th time in their last 5 games. Morris again running behind the fullback Heath Evans as we check in with Kurt.
Well, the seeds are set atop the AFC. Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers couldn't get it done in Tennessee. This is Michael Griffin picking him off and taking about 83 yards for the score. It's 31-14 with 16 seconds left. So that means Tennessee will go to 13-2 on the year. They will be the number 1 seed in the AFC. Pittsburgh will be the number 2 seed, regardless of what happens next week. Back to Kenny Moose and Goose in New England.
All right, thanks, Kurt. So congratulations to the Tennessee Titans, the number 1 seed in the AFC.
A lot of questions out there about Tennessee and who they played, if they were really deserving of their first seed. Moose, I'll tell you, the Steelers are no joke, and they went out there today and beat them to go and get that first seed. You've got to congratulate those guys.
Absolutely, absolutely. Maybe a little bit of doubt creeping in the last few weeks for Tennessee, so that's a huge win against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is an excellent team.
This should take us to the 2-minute warning as Bill Belichick will now start thinking about the Buffalo Bills. And he will be watching the scoreboard later this afternoon as well. 2 minutes remaining in Foxborough. Patriots by 40. Tomorrow at 9, 8 Central, don't miss the Prison Break fall finale. Every covert plan, every double cross, every shocking revelation has all been leading up to one unbelievable moment. The Prison Break fall finale tomorrow at 9, 8 Central on Fox. Viewer discretion is advised. Great job by all of the members of our crew who have braved the elements here today. There's Win Bernfeld, Tim DeRoyne, Michael Trains, Dan Gibbons. There's Hardy Klunder, Jim Martins, Mike Porter, Mike Ratus, Mark Sataropoulos, and Peter Stefanison, our cameramen who have been out in the snow along with Goose today and his producer Lou Tribbiani. Thanks to the guys in the truck who we hope are keeping warm. Our producer Pete Macheska, director Michael Frank, associate directors Fran Morrison and Jeremy Green, associate producer Chirag Devaskar, our technical producer Dan Rotante, technical director Chris Castro, senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown. The executive producers are Ed Gorin and David Hill. Thanks to Dave Corris, Ben Boma, Matt Banovic, and Ricky Camps as the Patriots run out the clock. Tim Dunn providing the terrific audio today. Game 2 of our Fox doubleheader. Coming up next, Eagles and the Redskins, Vikings and the Falcons as the Patriots raise their record to 10-5. The playoff-bound Cardinals drop to 8-7. 345 yards in the air, 3 touchdown passes for Matt Castle. Cardinals now 0-5 on the East Coast. Patriots 10-0 in Foxborough in franchise history in snow. So for Darryl Johnston and Tony Siragusa, this is Kenny Albert saying so long from Gillette Stadium. Patriots win it 47-7 over the Cardinals as we send you west. Here's Kurt Menefee.